All right, yo, what's up? My name's RetroPat, and I know it's about time I finally do a room tour video on this channel. I've been delaying it forever, and if I keep delaying it, I'm just gonna keep adding stuff. Oh, I don't want to do the room tour yet because I'm having this sign coming in, this game coming in, etc., etc. But I should just go ahead and do it. Here's an overview. It's really just one big shelf. The main bulk of my room is just this one big shelf, and we do have a gaming setup over here with tons of consoles down here and a TV. I don't have a CRT yet. That's just the one TV I have access to. I'll get a CRT at some point, maybe when I have more space or an easier way to sort of have that. Now, I have different sections along the shelf. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's a functional way to keep everything collected. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First things first, I actually want to cover one of the more niche and specific items within my collection, which is right here. These two shirts, coming from one of my favorite games of all time, Dungeon Defenders. These specifically were promotional materials for Dungeon Defenders 2. Pretty niche game in all standings, but a really phenomenal one. If you haven't played Dungeon Defenders, definitely check it out. I don't really have a great way to display them at the moment, but I'm a huge Dungeon Defenders fan. In my top 5 games of all time, easily. Over here in the corner, we have some niche stuff. I do a little bit of knitting, a little crochet pack there that was given to me by a friend. Haven't jumped into that yet. And then 4 Xbox Ones that I'm actually selling at the moment, right down here, that are broken. I'm selling those for parts and repair. We have the SSX branded snowboard. That's actually a really niche thing. You don't see it very often. And then 2 Guitar Hero guitars for PS2 in the back. Other than that, let's just go ahead and start down here at the bottom. Got a small collection of books, some Pokemon stuff, strategy guides. I got this like when Black Ops came out, and that was just my strategy guide for the maps for multiplayer. I picked this up pretty recently. Haven't played this tabletop RPG yet, but looks really cool. A lot of cool stuff there. A Malifaux book, which was a pretty interesting what's it called? Miniatures game. The one time I tried to get into miniatures, and miniatures was not for me, but it was interesting. Down here, we do have some big box PC, really just getting into the PC collecting in general. I feel like I actually honestly may one day prefer that over console. I've just always been a PC guy. Big box PC collecting and PC collecting in general is still pretty niche, but I feel like I could really enjoy it. The Doom covers here look incredible. I would love more Fate. One of my favorite games. I don't know much about a lot of them. Fury, I don't like the art is what really draws me to PC. And then we have over here Gothic, Zuma, Multi-Coon, Frogger. This game, Zoombinis, a classic for a lot of people. More PC stuff. Elder Scrolls Anthology is really nice. Original StarCraft expansion, Warcraft, Kingdom of Magic. This is a cool one. I feel like this game is worth pulling out. I'm going to knock down my boy Bilbo right here. Maybe not. Okay. Kingdom of Magic. Really interesting video. Really interesting art. I love this. I don't know much about it. Really interesting art. I try to look into it. It's a pretty niche game. Not even much about it online. Continuing on. Random DVD style case PC stuff. Nothing too exciting. Aside from this is sealed, which is nice. That copy of Fate is pretty cool. Moving up, your World of Warcrafts, your Harry Potters. I never really grew up with World of Warcraft, but I did grow up playing tons of MMOs. I was always a free-to-play MMO player, and my favorite type of game in the world are MMORPGs. A little Pokemon section with some of the McDonald's trading cards. These little Lego-type balls that my girlfriend's been picking up and collecting, which I really enjoy. I'm a huge fan of making sure your Pokemon are properly dripped out. So Squirtle's got his drip. We've got the Snorlax Ditto with his drip up here. And the Dragonite has his drip, of course. I just started picking up some VHS. They're just wicked cheap. These were $5 for $1. And obviously Jimmy Neutron, a lot of nostalgia for me. Iron Giant, a lot of nostalgia. A lot of nostalgia for Eldorado. A lot of nostalgia for Casper. This one, no real nostalgia. But it's Macaulay Culkin in this like almost D&D type fantasy looking. I've never seen it. Don't know the movie. Maybe I'll watch it one day. But it looks phenomenal. Some of the cooler things in my collection. I actually love this. I mentioned this in a pickups video. Red vs. Blue on DVD. I can't remember. When was the last time they made a YouTube series? A DVD. That's so interesting to me. I love the Thumb movies. Stupid comedy. Step Brothers, favorite comedy of all time. And other stuff is just random stuff I just have. Some PSPs here, none of which work yet, or at least not to my knowledge. I have some batteries shipping. I've been waiting on that. These were 5 PSPs I bought. They're Japanese PSPs for parts and repair. I plan on working on those. One of my favorite things in my collection, my N-Gage, and there's some games for it in here, although I do have the cased games down below. One of the games I don't have the case for, which is the most valuable game. I think it's in the system. I do have Elder Scrolls Shadow Key, my favorite, like the N-Gage, probably the N-Gage Holy Grail, or one of the ones. The one that people want to play. There are more expensive games, but that's the one people want to play. Elder Scrolls Shadow Key, the secret hidden Elder Scrolls game on the N-Gage only. Some loose Game Boy carts. I do own some, like without the boxes, like this. I don't have the box for. I just bought it loose, but I do try to keep the box. Like this one is the one I've had since I was a kid. Love this game. Fantastic Game Boy platformer. I love platformer games on the Game Boy. I think they just work really, really well in that system. Hidden in the back there, you can actually see I have a little travel pack accessory kit sealed for the Game Boy, which is cool. It's third party, nothing crazy. There's also a complete in box silver DS box back there. I have the DS up here. Pink 3DS, Nintendogs edition DS, silver DS. The cool things about these two DS, or the two DSs, they both have the little cartridge here to fill the Game Boy slot, which is one of the most lost pieces. So it's cool to have that. All right, and then down here, my small N-Gage collection. I have 5 games, 4 cases here, and Shadow Key, Sonic N, Pandemonium, Monkey Ball, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, I hate that game on PS1. Going back to play Tomb Raider on PS1, it is some of the worst aging controls I've ever played. It is really enjoyable on the N-Gage. I don't know why. It's hard to explain, but it's shocking. It's shocking. Some of these are empty cases. I think most are. This is empty case. One of the Pokemon Ys is empty. I have 1 copy of Pokemon Y. The Alpha Sapphire is empty, and the rest are full. The rest are full. So it's just the 1 Alpha Sapphire, the 1 Y, and the 1 X. Those are empty cases. I do want to get loose carts to fill those one day. I just got that in I needed a Y case, and there was a cheap lot on eBay, of course. That's how I built a lot of my collection. A lot of it was with lots and deals. Now, down to the complete in box Game Boy. Some of these are sealed. Uno is sealed. This is sealed. This could be resealed. I still don't really know. Uno is definitely not. From my understanding, this is definitely not Mr. Driller. Mr. Driller is sealed. One of my most expensive games in my collection. It's like a $90 sealed Game Boy game. Never really played Mr. Driller, but I just got it for a great deal. I know it's a beloved game. I love Crash on the Game Boy. One of my favorite. I cannot. It feels like Crash was meant for Game Boy. It was meant for 2D. I genuinely love Crash Bandicoot on the Game Boy. SSX Tricky, my favorite retro game of all time, is terrible on the Game Boy. It's atrocious. Don't get it here. I have 2 copies. Got a good deal. Spyro is fine on the Game Boy. Nothing crazy. And then we have Pokemon Red Rescue Team and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Over here, Japanese Game Boy. And I have some leftover Japanese Game Boy. I keep all these in plastic dollar, cases, covers. I think if you're going to collect Game Boy, if you're going to collect any cardboard box games, I really recommend these. I think they just keep things more uniform, keep them protected. If you're gonna do cardboard box games, I think it's a must, but that's just me. Small Wii collection down here. Not really a Wii gamer. Not gonna dwell on it too much. Yep. I hate this game, and a lot of people hate me because I hate this game. But I hate Super Mario Galaxy. I'm sorry, I'll say it. It feels like they based the entire game around a mechanic that wasn't really refined. It didn't really work well. It doesn't feel good. Anyways, these are some excess Wiis that I have. I bought a lot recently. I've been getting memed on a lot for it on stream. I bought a lot recently of 15 Japanese Wiis for repair / parts. 7 of them worked, at least to some extent, out of the box. These all power on, but don't read discs. But they could read Wii discs. I don't have a Japanese Wii disc yet. I have one shipping. So I can't test these for Wii disc yet, but they couldn't read Japanese GameCube. So I'll test with Wii. A lot of Wiis And these were more damaged ones. These all either don't power on, or one of them had a severe AV issue where the video was like black and white. So that probably needs, I think it's a board issue. There's some capacitor or battery, something out of my knowledge that needs fixed. These are all fake games, kind of. Don't look at these and add them to my value or think of them as part of my collection. These are all loose. So, or these are all missing a disc. Everything here, every game here, every kit, there's something missing from these. There's either one disc, like for example, a lot of these like Jade Empire, I think it just has the bonus disc, for example, but not the actual game inside. I bought these, and there's a lot more of these that I'm missing. There's no actual game. There's a lot more of these. I think I bought a lot that was around 100. I think it was around 100 games like this that are missing one disc, and it was just for like $30. So it's a crazy good deal. So I have this, but it's a lot of space. That's the issue right now. So I'm going to deal with these at some point. I'm going to slowly fill these up, and worst case scenario, I'm going to use them as replacement just Xbox Stream cases, which I do need. So those are actually super nice. Even 100 of those for $30 is just a good deal. Now, moving on, 360, probably, if you asked me the question, what's my favorite console 2 years ago, two to 4 years ago, I would have said PS2. You know, hands down, incredible library, crazy large library, not that much shovelware, a lot of great games, SSX trickies on it, you know, great. I think it's now changed to the 360. I grew up with the 360. The 360 was already my second favorite. But the amount of depth, the amount of games that have extremely deep gameplay and mechanisms, and you can play for hundreds and thousands of hours that are on the 360 are pretty insane. There are a lot of games on the 360 that are kind of better experienced on PC, such as Skyrim, such as Fallout New Vegas. I don't know where it's at on this shelf, but there are certain games like that, like RPGs, that are better on the PC. But sometimes it's nice to just kick it back, honestly, and play still on a console. But I am mostly a PC guy for sure. Back here we have Starlink. I haven't really tested that out yet. Should be a fun game. We do have some sealed games here that I keep bubble wrapped up, because I don't know what I want to do with them yet. So I know that in here, I don't usually unwrap these, but I'll show you guys. These were part of a lot, you know, as per usual, that I bought. This is a beloved game. A lot of people love this game. Never played it. The World Ends With You, sealed. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, sealed on the Switch. And then this is Disorder 6, I believe is what it's called. This is a Japanese Xbox 360 game, sealed. I plan to do something with those at one point. We'll just move all that over for now. I love collector's editions on the 360. It's probably my favorite thing to collect in all of gaming is Xbox 360 era collector's editions. This is not that, but Knight's Contract, cool game, really want to play it. Loved this game. Brothers in Arms Hell Highway, phenomenal. Blew me out of the water, was really shocked by it, made a video on the channel. Oblivion, never been a huge Oblivion guy. I actually prefer Morrowind or Skyrim. I couldn't get into Oblivion, really, honestly. I play the main storyline and like the main campaign once or twice, but I can't really get deeper into the side stuff. LA Noire, phenomenal game, a must play. Like, no matter if you're a casual gamer, serious gamer, whatever, you've got to play LA Noire. Gears of War 1, I love to death. Haven't played Gears of War 2 yet. Borderlands Triple Pack, I played through all of these essentially for the first time. I played Borderlands 1 a ton growing up, and I loved it, and I killed Cromerax and everything, but never played Borderlands 2, never played the pre-sequel, never played 3 still. I replayed through all of these over the past year, and Borderlands holds up. That was a fantastic series. Borderlands 2, I have a lot of nostalgia for Borderlands 1, and I really thought I wasn't going to let go of that nostalgia and still make it my favorite, but I think Borderlands 2 is definitely the best game out of the series, but I still have a strong love for Borderlands 1. Mass Effect 3, I'm still playing Mass Effect 1, but I'll get to these. Tales of Vesperia, haven't played yet, but I had a recommendation from my friends. Halo 2, and then Dragon Age Origins. I feel like I love Dragon Age, but I haven't played it too much. Once again, so many games, so little time, unfortunately. Another random copy of Skyrim, Fable 2 Dishonored, Dead Island Riptide. I loved the original Dead Island, or I liked the original Dead Island. It had so many flaws, but I still like that game a ton. I'll play Riptide at some point. I know Dead Island 2 just came out. I'll play that in 10 years in typical RetroPat fashion. This copy of Portal 2 is sealed. I remember I bought a lot that had this in it, and I was buying the lot for Portal 2,
It was a good deal, but then it was sealed, and I was like, I don't want to open it, so I'm going to buy another copy of Portal 2 for like $5, complete in box, and have one, you know, sealed, one complete in box, and to actually play the game. I love Portal 2. Portal and Portal 2 are similar to LA Noire, where no matter if you're a casual gamer, no matter if you're a serious gamer, everyone should play Portal 1 and Portal 2. They're just phenomenal games. The very, very few Xbox One games that I own, I got them at a good deal at GameStop, hilariously. The first time I had been to GameStop in a really long time. Haven't played them too much, but I love the intros to all of them so far. Back there is a collector's edition of Modern Warfare 3, my favorite Call of Duty game of all time. Red Faction 2, Crash Twinsanity, 50% Bulletproof. I actually love this game. Robots, Dirt Summit, Black Ops Collection, Modern Warfare Trilogy. I recently completed these. These were from that like missing discs lot, and then I had the games to complete them. Rage, underrated. Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy game I ever played, being 13, which makes a lot of Final Fantasy fans cringe. I haven't beaten it. I really liked the beginning story. Need to play more of it. I kind of like it's a good game to honestly just like get drunk to and just play, because it's just so linear and so boring, but the story is legitimately good. Maybe go watch that on YouTube or something. Halo 3, I loved Halo 1 and I loved Halo 2. I haven't been able to get into Halo 3, but I'm going to try it again one day. I think I need to go with a fresh set of eyes. Never played Batman Arkham Asylum. I love Guitar Hero. I played mostly on PS2, but Guitar Hero 3, one of my favorite games of all time. Probably it's somewhere top 20, top 50. Nothing crazy high, but it's definitely my favorite rhythm game, like by far. Battlefield 3 I loved back in the day. Fallout New Vegas, top 5, top 6 games of all time. Bulletstorm, super underrated shooter. Love it. Saints Row the Third gets forgotten, man. Saints Row in general gets forgotten in the sake of GTA, and it's not right. Moving down, we have some broken consoles, question mark. This one works fully. That one's good. We see some hard drives up here from a lot. This is a Xbox 360 DVD player, the HDD player or whatever. That was the Blu-ray versus HD DVD war back in the day. This Xbox actually works. It's just damaged, like cosmetically, and it needs a faceplate, but it actually does work. And then we have some extra power plugs for Xbox. These are like $20 a piece. It's kind of annoying to get these. That's why I bought them a lot, to get them cheaper, because I need a couple. This PS3 does not work, but I can fix it. It needs a new like Wi-Fi chip, I believe, after a lot of troubleshooting. This PS2 I did fix. It does work. Nice. And this is an Xbox 360e. I still need a power cord for it, and it is parental locked, but I feel pretty confident in my ability to fix that pretty easily. All right, carrying upwards. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get this. I had one of these growing up, and they kind of work, kind of don't. These little Energizer charger things. But my girlfriend actually loves it. She loves that it's a way to display your controllers and it lights up. She thinks it's really pretty. So I'm glad I got it. It was $2. I'm glad I got it. I almost didn't get it at that price, but I'm glad I got it for that. And she's right. It's a good way to display your controllers. Haven't really played much of this super niche original horror game. This is actually a sealed copy. Okay, this is one of my favorite things in my collection. There's no shrink wrap on it. It's a Microsoft store purchase, and it still has, this is not like stuck back on. It's peeling a little there, but it's like, this is a sealed copy of Mass Effect 1. Platinum hits, keep in mind, that is a big deal, but it's from the Microsoft store. I think that's so cool. I got that for really cheap. I think it was like $12. It's so cool to me. Halo Combat Evolved was such a good remaster. SSX on 360, really mixed feelings about that game. I'll probably do a video on it at some point because I just love that series. Overlord I've always seen but haven't played. Dead Island I love. Time Shift haven't played. GTA 5. This video is really just going to be showing what a fake gamer I am and how few games I've played. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. One of the best games I've played, I mean, period. But I really loved this game. Over the past year or so, by far, like, I think maybe the best game I've played. Asura's Wrath, one of those super unique, incredible games. Super unique experience. One of the more expensive Xbox 360 games. I think it's like $40 or something, which is pretty high up there. Like the average Xbox 360 game is like $11. Diablo 3 on Xbox. My first time playing Diablo was this year. My character's level 68, not quite 70 yet, but I've been enjoying it. It's a pretty good turn your brain off grind sort of thing. Some various random Xbox games I haven't sorted yet. And then moving on, we have Crash Bandicoot 1, Japanese PS1. Clock Tower 2, Japanese PS1. I a Japanese PS2, which I love. This ceramic white Japanese PS2 is beautiful. Pokemon Coliseum in Japanese, my small Japanese collection here. Pokemon Coliseum in Japanese, Final Fantasy Decidueye in Japanese, Seaman in Japanese, Samurai Champloo in Japanese. One of the more expensive PS2 games. Love this game. SSX Tricky in Japanese has a really interesting alternative cover art. This is honestly kind of hard to find for whatever reason. It was pretty cheap. It was like $8 or $9, but I can't find this very often on eBay. Anime movie I haven't watched yet, and then another Japanese Xbox 360 game that I haven't played. I want to get an Xbox. I want to get a Japanese import Xbox 360 eventually. Treasure Planet. So I'll just scroll through. I don't want to show you guys every single game, but I'll point out the notable ones. Samurai Champloo is incredible. I love this game. One of the more expensive. I mean, it's an expensive-ish PS2 game, probably around 60 to $80, maybe 50 to 80. I waited for a really long time for a good deal on that game. Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. Call of Duty Finest Hour, the first Call of Duty game I ever played. SSX and SSX 3, I do not love those games as much as Tricky, unfortunately. Guitar Hero 3, one of my most played PS2 games. Okage Shadow King and Crash Tag Team Racing. I haven't played Crash Tag Team Racing much. I didn't really like it. Okage Shadow King is phenomenal, but I haven't really put enough time into it. Eternal Ring, really cool game, really interesting. This might sound like something. This is somewhat of a precursor to Elden Ring. It is made by From Software. It's a From Software game. It's one of the Ring games. It's one of the from that franchise way back in the PS2 era. Really cool game. It's kind of the precursor to Elden Ring in a small way. Sly 2, Band of Thieves, Star Wars, Ace Combat 4. Still playing my way through the Sly Combat series as well as Jak and Daxter. I'm trying to remember what games are in here. I think this is Chicken Run on PS1. And then one of these is Sly Cooper 1. And then the other is a Star Wars racing game on PS2 that's actually wickedly enjoyable for no reason. All right, moving up. Dante's Inferno Death Edition. This was so hard to find. I want to show you guys the cover, but it's kind of hard to pull it out without dropping something. This was so hard. Yup, Timber. This was so hard to find. So hard. I found it locally. I could not find another copy on eBay or on Price Charting or anywhere. It's kind of insane. I don't know where you find this, but I love this game to death. I'm so glad I did. I wanted a collector's edition. There's like different variants for that for different regions for Dante's Inferno. And I really wanted one. I love that game. It's a 10 out of 10 masterpiece game. A small one PSP game stranded there. I'll get some more at some point once I get those PSPs working. Some more PS2 notable ones being SSX Tricky, Harvest Moon, I guess, Sonic Heroes. I played on PC growing up. Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is a really cool turn-based game. MLB 08 The Show. I played a shit ton. I can actually talk about stickers. I am a psycho where I like keeping stickers on my games. I think it tells a story. I think it's interesting. It tells history and where that game has been. I really like stickers. So you'll notice I keep all stickers on my games. It's just something I do, something I enjoy. Anyways, moving on. PS1 is down here. We've got some Duke Nukem games here, so I pulled those out because I'm kind of playing those at the moment. This really cool, so I'm kind of leaning over, this really cool Spyro demo that a friend mailed me. That is an incredible piece of art and piece of his childhood. Incredible gift from him. Chrono Cross, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot Warped. I do have Crash Bandicoot 2. 2 is actually my favorite Crash, but I don't have a case for it. CTR, Final Fantasy Tactics. Haven't put enough time into it, but I know that I'll love that game. I have the entire Crash Bandicoot PS1, all the Crash Bandicoot PS1 games in Japanese, and then Clock Tower. Clock Tower is an extremely expensive game in English, but in Japanese it's really cheap, and I like having it. I know that I'm not going to play them. Even if I own them in English, I wouldn't play them. So, a very text-heavy game. It's not really playable in Japanese since I don't read it, but it is a cool one. My one long box PS1 game, nothing crazy. It's just Slam and Jam 96 with Magic Johnson and Kareem. So it's my one long box PS1 game. I'll get more of those. I really do like those. They're very cool. Siphon Filter, Croc 1 and 2. I still cannot defeat Croc. It's too powerful of a game for me. Spyro. I do own Spyro 1, 2, and 3. I don't have a case for Spyro 1. Shrek's Treasure Hunt is a great game. Star Wars The Phantom Menace is one of the first video games I ever played. Fun little fact. All right, getting back up. Moving back up towards the top. These are all games that I want to sell. I have a lot of, this case is full of games that I want to sell. I might quickly go through, so we have Just Dance. We have like some, these are games that I'm selling off, trading into a store soon. I've got Spider-Man and Evolution Skateboarding. There's a joke about this game, how it has like tanks as a boss. There's like boss battles in a skateboarding game, which is funny. I'll go through this case really quickly. I do a lot of loose disc games, so I think it's worth covering. I do really enjoy loose disc, honestly, even though I like having the shelf stuff. I'm gonna go through these kind of quickly. These are being traded in. These are being sold. The reason why is because I got them for a really good price. They're either duplicates or I got them for a really good price. Like we have Sonic Heroes down there. And I'm just profiting. So I'm buying, what I do is I buy stuff on eBay, I trade it into local game stores, and then I make money, usually doubling or like tripling the money spent, and then I actually buy the games that I want at said game stores. I'll often keep games that I want from these collections as well. There's a lot of stuff. This is what I'm trading off after picking out what I want, you know, to keep. So this is after picking out all the games I want to keep, and I'll show you some more loose disc stuff. There's more loose discs here, for example. I love these black cases. These are so nice. I'll go through these pretty quickly. Like, I kept these because I love Destroy All Humans and don't own them yet. These are the ones I'm keeping. Like, look at these banger titles. These are the ones I'm keeping from a similar lot. Either games I haven't played or haven't tried. Or there's some lower ones in here like this. Like, I wouldn't want to keep this, but a lot of stores won't accept that. They don't want those like super cheap. There's just not enough demand, too much supply for those games, so they don't need more of them. Like, look at all these banger titles that I am able to keep essentially for free. Well, essentially being paid to keep, making profit. Obviously not that, but you get the point. I love buying eBay lots. I love collecting on a budget. It's a huge part of how I collect. I'm a huge deal hunter. I love this really budget, cheap Call of Duty. There's a Call of Duty card game that's so niche. Smash Up, got at thrift store on sale clearance for $3. One of my favorite board games of all time, Agricola. This is the 2-player version. I would love to get the full game one day. A cute little companion cube, which houses some candy inside. This is a game I actually want to sell. I don't want this. This is, yeah, nope. Bionicle, the board game, thrift store find, really cool. Cute little Pokemon Halloween little, you're supposed to like open it. It's like a advent calendar for Halloween, Pokemon themed, but I just keep it sealed like a nerd. A comic book that I care about. And this was some cards sent to me by a friend. The same person who sent me that Spyro thing online. I love this. I keep the note. I love it. Super cool. Some extra batteries, little toys, random stuff. Your girlfriend got me this as a joke, and it sits there. EverQuests. I love getting MMO install cases like this. We also have EverQuest 2 back here. And then we have, obviously, the Dragonites. We have, I almost missed one of the biggest parts of my collection, the only graded game that I own. And I got this as a reward for myself for completing Bully 100% recently. I ended up picking up a graded copy for a really good deal as well, was a huge part of it. Little Overwatch thing. I loved Overwatch 1 to death. Overwatch 2 is, you guys know. These are cute. These are Cube World, a thrift store find. A little old, like, digital toy back in the day where a little guy would pop up and, like, he would be able to, like, run around. They're separate, but you magnetize connect them, and then he would, like, run around all the screens. Really, really cool technology. This SSX Tricky advert, I love. Then we have the Pokemon Gen 2 poster, the Crash Bandicoot poster, the Atari Jaguar sign, one of my favorite things in my room. And my girlfriend loves it as well. This wooden Dig Dug poster is awesome. Another pickup from the girlfriend. I love to death. And then let's go ahead and quickly look at consoles. I do have 3D. You know what? I have 3 CD cases full of loose games. Let's go through them quickly. I'm worried my phone battery is going to die as well. I haven't played a lot of these. Some of these might get traded in, like those superhero games, Sly 3. So now I have Sly 1, 2, and 3, which is nice. This is Tony Hawk 3, which I've never played. I played Tony Hawk 1 and 2 on PS1. Spider-Man. There was an extra copy of Spider-Man in the trade-in section. So many copies of SOCOM. This disc is actually an N-Gage collection, hilariously, but that's... Fallout New Vegas, Black Ops. I started playing this on Veteran recently, which is an absolute pain in the ass. Diablo. So I keep a lot of my games. You'll notice I have all of these games on my shelf. The boxes, they're not actually in there. I keep them in these. I don't keep my games on my shelf because I travel back and forth so much between my place and my girlfriend's place. So I just grab one of these, you know, let's go, as opposed to carrying a bunch of cases. I don't like... So a lot of these are honestly just going to be repeats. We'll see if any of these are... like this, I don't have a case for. Brutal Legend, the Jack Black game, which is hilarious. Crisis 2, I don't have a case for. Blue Dragon, I don't have a case for. Great JRPG. One of the first JRPGs on the 360, if not the first. Really beautiful artwork in that. There's all the PS1 memory cards that I have back up. Don't have a case for this. I love this game. Really cool speedrun, really cool game. Would love to learn the speedrun at some point. It's like a God of War style hack and slash with Ghost Rider, and it just, oh my god, the aesthetics. Spyro 1, I don't have a case for. I don't have a case for a lot of these. A lot of these are actually childhood games. Not Ghost Rider, but Tony Hawk is. This is not my childhood copy of Spyro, but this is my childhood copy of Crash, which I love, and like a lot of these are childhood games. Driver, Sly Cooper 1, PC random game. Star Wars Demolition, I love this game. I love this game to death. Super underrated PS1 game. Some Spec Ops stuff. Tricky is in here. A Bug's Life. Super Sponge is a really hard SpongeBob platformer. Ace Combat 3. This game is really beautiful looking on the PS1. Really interesting looking. Has a very striking visual. Digimon. I don't think this disc unfortunately reads. I would love to get this cleaned at some point because it's an interesting game. C12. This game is also super underrated. Super interesting. Shadow of the Colossus. Treasure Hunts. Dexter's Lab. Love this game. I would love to get a case for it. Fun little game. Nostalgia game for me. And Ready to Rumble boxing. That's all the loose stuff covered. Let's head over. Obviously, my cable management is some of the best you'll see on YouTube. Extremely clean. I've clearly put a lot of time and effort into that, as you guys can tell. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Edition 360. Probably my favorite console. I love that a ton. PS3 that I fixed up from a lot. Original Xbox. The Japanese Wiis that work. These are all the ones that work to at least some extent. This one is a North American Wii. Down here, PS2, Xbox One, and TV. That's pretty much it. I think that's everything worth showing off in my game room today. Hopefully I chop this up in the editing room a little bit, make it look a little nicer, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. I wanted to get this out there so that I can do more room tours in the future and actually like show how the room has progressed and show how things have changed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. My name's Retro Pat, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.